Welcome to China Horse Business, the one and only podcast focusing on the booming horse market in China, bringing to you by two experts of Chinese equine industry, Zoe King and Jojo Wang from Shanghai and Hong Kong, introducing China to the world.
Morning, Zoe. How are things going?
Great, everything goes well. And I have good news for those who are currently in the UK. The Dynasty Racing Club is now open for member registration. If you are interested in joining the club for the upcoming exciting racing events such as Royal Ascot on the 16th of June, please email us at contact@wonder-horse.com and our team will send you more information accordingly.
Yes, all events have limited slots, so stay tuned. Right, let's move on to our China news session today. The first station of the 2022 Guangdong Equestrian League was completed on the 22nd of May in Camelot Equestrian Club.
This competition ranked from 30 to 130 centimeter classes. According to the official statistic, 417 rider-horse combinations applied for the competition, which is a record for equestrian events in Guangdong province this year.
To be able to attract more audience to watch the equestrian shows, especially under the COVID, China equestrian market start to change from traditional media campaign to share polls on public platforms to more three-dimensional campaign, merge online live broadcasts on different platforms like TikTok, Bilibili and WeChat mini programs, etc. And this allows enthusiasts to enjoy the shows without boundaries of time, space, region restrictions, allowing audience worldwide to witness the growth of the China equestrian market.
Not only that, but this platform also associates with sponsors and conduct different activities to interact with the audience. So if you are interested in getting into the China market, please feel free to talk to us and we will propose you more suitable solutions for your first step into China.
And Zoe, different people are asking for China stable facility provider recently. Today, in our China Club sessions, instead of introducing you a riding club, we will share you Renhe International Equestrian Equipment Company. The owner of the company, Mr. Wang, already worked in the equine industry for nearly 20 years with the industrial design major, and he got his master degree in the China Agricultural University in equine industry.
Yes, and this company mainly focuses on research, development, and manufacturing of equestrian sport and farm facilities and equipment. Their most popular products, which are widely used in different competitions, are jumping fence and portable horse boxes. The company was the service provider for the most recent Xi'an National Games and was prized with a contribution award from the organizer.
So we have invited an expert who designed the venue for the 2008 Beijing Olympic Equestrian Facility in Hong Kong. And he is also involved in the LGCT permanent venue in Shanghai, the Equestrian Valley. Let's listen to our conversation with Timothy Court. Morning, Timothy. How are you?
Good morning, Jojo. I'm very well today.
Great. Nice to have you here today. Can you please introduce yourself and what do you do with your business?
I'm the managing director of a medium-sized architectural firm, specializes in the equine industry and has been doing so for 40 years now. We started working in Australia, but after designing the venue for the Sydney Olympics in 2000, we moved to do work around the globe. Since we've started that, we have been working in both the Middle East and Asia, as well as Australia, and a small amount of work in the US. The practice is highly specialized. It has a small team of experienced architects and planners, and about 95% of our work is to do with the equine industry. My personal experience, I used to work for a large firm in Sydney. The office at the moment is located about an hour's drive out of Sydney. During this time of my practice, I've also been the owner and operator of a large equestrian centre in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales, as my wife is a level 2 dressage coach and my job was to look after the bank manager. We also design for Western equestrian venues, and we also do horse racing tracks and the design of grandstands and the associated facilities to go with racetracks.
Very nice. What about equine vet clinic? Have you done that before?
Yes, we've designed and built 2 veterinary hospitals, full hospitals, actually designed some for China as well.
Having you mentioned China, so what is your experience in China?
Well, of course, we were the lead consultants for the Beijing 2008 equestrian venue, which was in Hong Kong. But Hong Kong is now part of China. So we worked on that project for 3 years, where I was spending a week every month with staff in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong Jockey Club was our client, and we had to design the Olympic venue for Beijing, and with the legacy of being able to use it for the Jockey Club and their racehorses.
Do you have other involvement in China?
I've been appointed as the equine specialist consultant, Global Champions Tour equine venues in Shanghai, because the architectural firm that designed the building is actually based in Shanghai. So the firm that I'm being engaged by does not have a great deal of experience with equine venues. They are responsible for the temporary venue for the Global Champions Tour in Shanghai. Yep. But I don't think they'd ever had a job on building a permanent facility that includes veterinary hospitals and that type of thing. So I've been advising them on overall planning of the venue so that it's safe for horses and for humans, and providing construction details as well. So when it's built, it is very safe.
Other than these 2 venues, what other facilities have you designed in China, and which hospital did you do in mainland?
Oh, well, I have recently completed a competition entry for an equestrian centre and racetrack in Hainan that is being delayed because of COVID. However, I'm working with the same company on this project, but I'm the lead designer of the whole equestrian precinct and grandstand. I've also looked at projects in a number of different cities in China, both equestrian and racing. However, not many of those have proceeded.
Tim, you said that what's the frequency that you visit China before COVID?
Before COVID took over, I was traveling to China once a month for a week at a time. Wow. For the Olympics, I actually brought staff because we were the lead consultants. However, in China now, because a lot of clients like to use their own local design institutes, I provided a design service and work with their local architects who become responsible for the construction drawings and all the approvals through the various government agencies. That seems to work very well. We swap information via the internet, and I review the construction drawings when they're done. And I also provide a quality control and safety inspections during construction. And at the end of the project, I actually provide a specialist sign-off for the venue before horses arrive.
So you can work remotely online?
Yes, we can work online. Of course, we find it's a lot easier actually being on site. But I can't see that happening until the level of COVID is cleaned up in China.
Yeah. COVID aside, you have visited China many times. You have been in many cities. You have seen the development of Chinese equestrian sport and the equine market. If there's one piece of advice you can give to China to further develop its industry, what will be?
I think one thing that I find in China is people don't understand the idea of master planning equestrian venues. A lot of the venues start small and grow in a sort of ad hoc manner, whereas I'm a great believer in forward planning. And even if the funds are not available immediately, to have a master plan available for the development so that the client can work progressively to build up the infrastructure and the scale of the resort works very well. And we specialize in this and inspect sites and decide on the best location for different types of venues, indoor arenas, stables, exercise areas, and racetracks. And the siting of racetracks is very important because they're such a large-scale venue, and a lot can be saved by the correct selection of the site where the venue goes.
For sure. So your turn to foresee, to anticipate in the next 5 years, how you see Chinese equine market will go in the next 5 years.
To be a successful racing centre, it does need large amounts of funding, which in the rest of the world is generated by sponsorship by the companies organising the wagering on the horses, as the Hong Kong Jockey Club does. To build a racetrack without gambling has inherent problems because it is very expensive and requires a lot of upkeep. The other thing is that racing and equestrian is an industry. Some people don't realize that racing and equestrian is just buying a horse and riding it in racing on a racetrack or in equestrian on an arena. There's actually a whole support industry with equestrian. All these things are associated with the establishment of a healthy and prosperous industry. And China is going through this stage at the moment. And during the next 5 years, I think the industry will grow hugely if gambling is permitted, which I know that Beijing is talking about at the moment and investigating. I think the industry could be huge and grow extremely quickly because already a number of racetracks have been built in China that are just waiting for the gambling to be permitted. So I think that the industry has a huge future. Equestrian is also the beginning of the training of the people involved in the racing industry, even down to the training of grooms to look after the horses and the establishment of facilities for the training of racecourse staff that will learn how to operate a racetrack. It's a huge process that takes a number of years. I know that the Hong Kong Jockey Club actually trains a lot of staff in Hong Kong and at their new training centre in China. So I do think it has a great potential and a very prosperous future.
Nice. Thank you very much, Timothy, for taking the time. Your sharing is very inspiring. We hope that you can travel to China again very soon.
It was a nice conversation with Tim. Once again, we can see how the China equine market has started to realize the importance of professionals could help the project to enhance efficiency of the operation and long-term sustainability.
True. And guys, if you want to get in touch with Tim, you can find his Instagram ID in our show notes. And again, if you like our podcast, please subscribe and share it with your friends. We will continue to bring you the most up-to-date information about Chinese equine market.
Yes. And let's talk again next week, Zoe. Bye.
Bye-bye. This podcast is co-hosted by Zoe King and Jojo Wang, powered by Wonder Horse, a business solution provider focusing on Chinese equine market and a bespoke equine community in China.